Good afternoon, and I am Logan from Wisefilm, here to talk to you about the new Apple Watch. Now, this is not a comparison video between Android Wear and Apple Watch, but there are a few points I want to make about my opinion on the new Apple Watch. First off, let's talk about specs. The Apple Watch comes in two sizes, because one size isn't enough. We have the smaller one at 38 millimeters with a 340 by 272 pixel count, and the larger one at 42 millimeters with a 390 by 312 pixel count. Now, this is all good for Apple, but is it really what the public wants? Do they want pixels crammed into something on their wrist that they can see photos and they can see apps just perfect and it burns your eyes? Or is it used for lightweight activity? Like I said, this isn't a comparison video, but it's not hard to see the difference between Android Wear and Apple Watch. On one hand, you have complete lightweight app activity, you have quickness, you have speed, you have basically what you would want in a smartwatch. On the other hand, you have a processor and an interface that provides a maze for you to walk through to try and get to your messages. You can't message people. You can't just say, okay, Google, send a text message to so-and-so. You have to go to Siri. You have to say this. You have to say that. It's a maze. You can't just do what you want to do in one swipe of a wrist. Now, you may think this video is biased, and you might be right, but you're talking to a former iPhone owner, a former iPad user. I still use my iPad, but I have been integrated in the iOS software since I was a kid. When I was growing up, that's basically all we had was iOS, and everything else was just, I guess, junk. Being that as it may, I am full support of Apple doing whatever they want to do. I love Apple products. The quality of the materials compared to Samsung, most of their phones are made out of plastic nowadays. I mean, they have the rating for the water resistant, but really, does the quality of the material really interacts with the customer, the user? When you pick up a full glass phone, you're going to feel the quality of the material, you're going to feel the price, the experience of using a high quality phone. I'm not saying Apple Watch isn't going to be a huge success. I'm sure tons of people will buy them when they first come out. But I think Apple is going about what people want in a different way. I think they're using it as a style piece, a status symbol. People are going to say, "Oh, you have the Apple Watch. Oh, with your wealth and your techness, I guess." They're going to say, "Oh, look at that." My opinion about the Apple Watch is a lot different than probably most iOS users or maybe even Android users. I'm sure tons of people will switch back and forth between carriers or users of iOS or Android when the Apple Watch does come out. I mean, personally, the Moto 360 was my goddess. I needed that, and I switched to Android so I could get the Moto 360. And my experience with that has been such an amazing experience because it's just so lightweight. It's what a smartwatch should be, in my opinion. I mean, I'm sure you guys want to look at photos on a half-inch screen that you could barely see anything, but my opinion of a smartwatch is really lightweight use, really simple construction, and the round screen you just really can't beat. Most people's problems with smartwatches nowadays is battery life, or why would you have something on your wrist when you have something in your pocket that's perfectly fine. But when you're really getting down to the basics, really, of what a smartwatch is and what you're looking for, you have to look for what do you want in a smartwatch. my biggest problem with Apple Watch is the gimmicks. Apple is, I think, trying to brainwash you guys. I'm not a conspirator with Apple being and Android being kind of like the commoners of the tech world. But my problem is the gimmicks, the sending your heartbeat to somebody else. What is that? I mean, that's just something so weird that people will probably do now that Apple said it's okay for you guys to do that. But if someone tried to make an app for Android Wear for a Moto 360 person to send to a Sony Watch person, that would just be insane. I mean, another problem I have with that is who's going to have that many Apple Watches? I mean, if you're in a big city and everybody's like, oh, Apple Watch, I don't think that's going to work out. I don't think it's the way that Apple is saying that you're going to live your life that way. The last problem I have with the new Apple Watch is the price tag. It is ridiculous, even for high-class watch people. If you're going to buy a Rolex, that's going to be probably around the same price tag as the Apple Watch. I mean, what it's starting at, what is this? It's starting at $349 for the base model. That's without any it's like buying a car without seats, is basically what it is. You're buying the case, you're buying the privilege to say you have the Apple Watch. You're not buying anything else with it, and that's fine. If people want to go out and buy the base model, that's fine. That's what I do. But people are going to go out and they're going to spend $500 on a watch that can't even work without your iPhone. And I mean, that's what a smartwatch is. If it like shot lasers out of its screen, or if it brought you bread or a beer, that's what I would pay $500 for. But for a watch that basically shows you notifications that's on your phone, I don't know. Well, whether you're an Android user or whether you're an iOS user, that's your opinion. But this has been my take on the new Apple Watch and some problems that I might see from it. This has been Logan from Wisefilm, signing off.